Oh man, I was about to say nah, but yeah, you like that. But anyway, let's talk about another team in Texas,
That's what he look like.
man. At this rate, right? All that guaranteed money and no actual success. But anyway, we talking about the Spurs, man. We're gonna talk about the Spur of the moment or Spur at the moment. That's Pop.
At the moment.
So Pop already was contemplating retirement before they found out they could get Wimby, quote unquote. We all know what probably happened there, but if you want to go to Draftgate, you can go down that rabbit hole on another episode. So they end up getting Wimby, and they're like, okay, we're going to give it a year. This year's not looking too good. The Spurs are currently 13-48. They still in the neighborhood with the Wizards and the Pistons, but they got an alien on their team. Joe, should Pop be in the hot seat next year?
All right. So for those who's not part of the chat, you need to be a part of the chat. We had a lengthy conversation about this in the chat. All right. And I I was in the chat like, man, it's basically saying like if they look like they tanking next year, Pop gotta go. I'm sorry. Maybe he lost, he's not related to the players. Pop is probably if not, he's probably the oldest coach in the league, coaching in probably the youngest team in the league. All right. So that gotta be relatable at some point. A lot of things Pop has done this year. I didn't like Tomo. Like I don't like the minute restriction on Wemby, averaging 28 minutes a game. The first game of the season, the Mavericks, you play the Mavericks, and it went down to basically the last possession. And Wemby plays the last minute. He's the only player that played less than 30 minutes in the start lineup. And I think he only played 22 minutes the whole game. His first game in the NBA. So, like, stuff like that. You playing the Clippers, the crowd booing Kawhi at the free throw line, mid free throw, you grab the microphone and tell the fans to start booing. What kind of stuff is that? First of all, I put my money to boo this man. Forget that. Like, I'll wait years to come here to boo this man. And
I'm
you
gonna
gonna
boo
tell me
you now.
they did though. They started booing. I think he did. I couldn't believe he did that. The Spurs had a better record last year than they do this year, and they got Wemby. I mean, they were more competitive last year, Tomo. So, but I'm gonna say no. Let's throw you left field, and let me tell you why. All right. So, this topic came up, and I'm like, all right, let me do some research, and I started listening to, a lot of Pop interviews and stuff like that. And one thing that he said that stood out to me early this season, he said that it's not about X's and O's. It's about figuring out Wemby and making him comfortable. So this is basically an experiment year. Like, let's not try to mold him to something. Let's see what he got, and then we're gonna work around. We're gonna mold that. Let's see what he made of. All right. I'm not sure if you remember when they played OKC in the preseason, when it was him and Chet, or was it preseason, or was it? It was a preseason or the summer league. It was one. I think it was summer league, and it was him
I
against
think
Chet.
it was summer league. I think it was
Summer
summer
league,
league. I think
and
so.
he said he ran one play for Wemby the whole game, and then he said basically it's not about that, So I think that's what he's doing right now. And also on the side, I think he's tanking, right? But and then I had to do some numbers, right? Look at this, Tomo. First of all, so Wemby plays the fourth most minutes on his team, which I'm like, okay, all right. But usage rate. Number 2, Vassell, 23%. Number 1, Wemby, 30.9. So he getting his touches, right? He's getting the touches when he's in the game, So that's good. And lastly, I want to give us some numbers. The man Wemby, this is why I'm so frustrated with the. Yeah, I get it, Javon. Like nobody's saying play on 40 minutes a game, but can a man play at least 4 minutes, 28 minutes a game? So it's a bitch player. I think Malik Monk played 28 minutes a game. So this is why I'm frustrated, because I feel like Wemby could have went down probably the best rookie season in NBA history. But his minute restriction is messing him up. Wemby, The fewest minutes per game by a player who averages 20 points, 10 rebounds, three assists, and 3 blocks in a season. Wemby has the least amount of minutes, which is 28.7. The second lowest, by not just rookie, we talking about players, period, that done this. The second lowest minutes, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 36.8. 1976. David Robinson, 36.8, 1995. Come on, man. So imagine if Wemby played 30 minutes. Like, come on now, 32 minutes. What would he be averaging? He might be averaging 25, 12, 4 blocks as a rookie. Bruh, come on now. So, but I don't think he should be on a hot seat because he made it clear as day. Like, this is basically an experiment year, basically. Now, you know what? I will say, I'm going to stick to this. If next year they look like they tanking, then he should be on a hot seat. But not going into next season, he shouldn't be on a hot seat, though.
We agree on that one because, again, he was already contemplating retirement. Then the league was like, hey, Pop, we can't have you do that. So they gave him Wemby. You give me one of those tallest. You don't even know what this kid is. You give me one of those type of players because I don't want to keep calling them an alien. So I'm just like generational talent. You give me a generational player who could probably change the league. You got to at least give me 1 year to figure this out. You know, even when you're trying to get a license, you got to get your learners first. Then you get your provisionals. Then you get take the driving test to see if you actually can be a driver. So that's maybe almost accomplished maybe 2 to 3 years. So you need that. So Pop being on the hot seat this year, no. Pop being on the hot seat next year, if it looks like they, like you said, if it looks like they are tanking, yes. But if they're just flat out losing games, no. Because if you're trying and you're losing, I give you that. But if it looks like you're like, hey, Wemby, let's check out right quick. When you down 2 and you got 3 minutes left, 30 seconds left, and you know he can get the shot, kind of like what he did in the finals when he set Tim Duncan and he couldn't get that rebound, and next thing you know, Miami won, and then boom, history is what it is. Stuff like that is when you be like, yeah, bro, we gotta make a change. But this young Spurs team, they got pieces, like you said, Vassell, Jones, Wemby. I can't pronounce the other kid name, but he was a power forward. They had him playing like a point guard at times.
Yeah, dude with the colorful hair, Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, him. I got him on one of my fantasy teams. They got pieces to actually do their thing. So give them 1 more year because they know what Wemby is now. And Pop is smart enough to be like, all right, this is the system we're gonna put in place. Boom. Because when you got a guy who wins championships like this, and he won with Tim Duncan, and he won with David Robinson and Manu Ginobili, who brought the Euro step. You know, things like that, you got to give them at least 1 more year. But again, we agree that if they look like they tanking, turn the seat up. It's hot.
Bro, they lost 18 games in a row at one point. How you lose 18 games in a row with Wemby? Like, Tomo, like...
I was about to say, I know how you can. Ain't that right, Carl?
28.
No, before you said with Wemby, I was like, we know how you can win 28 games, lose 28 games.
Has Michael Jordan, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Tim Duncan. Anybody in the top 10 has ever lost 18 games in a row? No. Like that's bad. So that's my issue. Like, how? Wemby right now is probably top 15, Tomo. He's really good.
Man.
Yes. Tomo, Wemby is nice. And this is all raw material, raw talent. You see what he's doing lately? First of all, his last 8 games. Last 8 games defensively. Shout out to David Dollars. Matter of fact, I posted this. Never mind. All right. Shout Wemby last 8 games. 10 blocks, 2 steals. 3 blocks, 1 steal. 5 blocks, 5 steals. 5 blocks, 5 steals. 5 blocks, 1 steal. 4 blocks, 2 steals. 5 blocks, 2 steals. 6 blocks, 1 steal. While averaging 25, 12, and 5, shooting 50-40. What?
Thanks, RBO. I'm trying to think of 15 players right now. Top 15 right now?
I say it probably. So it's a top of the dome. All right, top of the dome. So now, if he's not top 15, it's only because he's not polished. But the man nice. The man nice. Like, he can literally go into the game and be the best player, like against any team. Right? If he's used correctly, that's how. Man, the dude different, dog. The dude different. That's all I gotta say. And he's not even a great jump shooter yet. So, and we talking about both ends of the floor. Don't forget that. Offensively and defensively, he's probably top 15, top 20. He really is. So, but nah,
You
only
got
on a
15
hot
bricks
seat
right
if they're
there.
tanking. Huh?
Like you got 15 players right there. Paid in
It's
full.
yeah. I mean, I wouldn't rob out 15, but you know, he probably not top 15 because of his experience not there yet. But next year, for sure, he's gonna be top 15 for sure.
I
I could book
mean,
that.
you
Shoot,
got a lot of
might be
players.
top 5. Shout out to Paulo.
I think you found your next not so average top 5.
There it is.
Man. Now
Okay.
speaking of legends that they had on the hot seat, I think throughout this guy's entire career he was through the hot seat. You know, from the first day he stepped on the court and gave Jordan that little move. They took it away after that. They said you can't do that to the GOAT.